And that was like, end of research, we figured it out for women.
You're listening to Perimenopausal Conversations for Busy Women, real-life conversations navigating midlife, wellness, and hormones right alongside you.
So over the years, I've worked with a lot of women who come to me because they are ready to take care of their health, but they are ready to take care of it because, sadly, like they hate their body so much at that point. And that's never been an effective way to fix your health. But I think in perimenopause, and for my clients who are in perimenopause, I am seeing a shift where they are realizing that the old way of like hustling and forcing yourself to over-exercise and under-eat is no longer working for themselves. And instead, like they are open to taking care of their body, not hating their body into submission, but actually loving their body, taking care of their body, listening to their instincts to get to their health goals.
Is that a societal pressure problem where we've been told certain messages of what healthy is, and then now at this age we've realized that those things may not be completely true and we're more open to doing what is actually healthy? Like, do you feel like it's been the methods have always been unhealthy anyways because we've been overdoing, under-eating, all of those things because we were sent certain messages, and now we're just more self-aware? Or what makes that change where now we're ready to do the healthy part versus pushing the unhealthy part?
I honestly wonder if it is because at this stage in life, we just realized what we were doing wasn't working anyways, so it's time for something different. And I think women are more open to a kinder approach to managing their bodies. And, you know, I can't speak for all women, but I am seeing that more and more now, which is refreshing.
I also do feel like this is a little bit of a remake / rebranding phase that people go through. I think there's been times in life where men have been accused of having a midlife crisis. They go out and they buy the Corvette, or they, do their hair a certain way or whatever. I think for women, it looks different, and I think it's displayed differently. But I also do think there is this remake that happens in women at this age where you almost see a newfound confidence of women in their late 40s, early 50s, where they've kind of come through this phase a little bit where they're like, okay, I don't necessarily need to do whatever I've been being told to do for so long. I'm ready to do what works for me now.
Yeah, I totally agree. And you made me think of something. So I was doing some research before this podcast in PubMed. And one of the things, and this was like an observational study, but one of the things they said was that in the 60s, a lot of the things that women were going through, they said the men had the midlife crisis, but women, they attributed all of women's emotional things going on at this time just to the empty nest syndrome. And it was just that their kids moved away. And that was like, end of research, we figured it out for women. And now, obviously, it's become like people are actually studying perimenopause and realizing that these pesky hormones that have left women out of research studies in the past probably should be researched, And so with the new research coming out on women in perimenopause and menopause, I think that has given us some more confidence as well to realize that we don't have to push and we don't have to be restrictive and we don't have to exercise until we're exhausted and all of that.
Okay, well, I feel freed from the pressure of it, but now what do I do? Because I do recognize that I still need to put in the time of exercising. Strength training to me has been something that's been on my mind a lot recently, especially working in the physical therapy space. I feel like I see these older women, 60 plus, let's say, that where they've gone wrong and part of the issues that they're having. And I'm guessing this has a little bit to do with hormone changes as it's affected our muscles and bones, but they are weak in very specific muscle groups. And part of those muscles are the functional muscles that help us get out of the chair, go upstairs, walk more. And so even though a lot of these women would classify themselves as active, they are lacking very specific strength in very specific places. And I've really been taking a lot of time recently thinking about it to myself of I need to get better about strength training specifically. I feel like I get my steps in. I don't feel like that's a huge deal for me, but I really need to be lifting, pushing, pulling slightly heavier things because I think that that has a lot of benefits long term. But then the eating, obviously that's important too. But how do we do all the right things now?
I really think the key is, especially if you aren't doing any of that and you're realizing you need to start doing some of that, it's the small baby steps to get there. And maybe even just tackling one thing at a time. So like I have a few clients who just weren't eating real food at all, no nutrition. And so when they started working with me, it was, I want you to have one vegetable with every meal. And they'd be like, a vegetable with breakfast? And it's like, yeah, breakfast, you need a vegetable, every meal. And so something simple and small, but it got them into the habit. And then like next time we meet, now it's 2 vegetables, or now it's a piece of fruit a day as well. And just like slow increments, being kind to yourself, recognizing that it's hard to adjust to things, but making time for it. And so like most studies really recommend for women that we strength train 3 times a week at a minimum. But that doesn't mean you have to start strength training 3 times a week. So maybe it's just, I'm going to make a point once a week to set aside time, plan the time ahead of time, even if it's just 10 minutes. There's a lot of strength training stuff you can do in just 10 minutes, and it will make a difference, and it will get you into the habit. And then from there, you can increase it, either the amount of time or the amount of time you do the strength training or the amount of times you do it during the week. But the baby steps and the more gentle approach versus forcing yourself to do this whole life makeover all at once makes it better.
And I feel pretty strongly, and it sounds like you're saying something similar, but I feel like it's never too late to start. I think that we are always works in progress. And so I think that if you haven't been doing those things like you just mentioned, it's okay to start small and work your way up. And I feel like there's no point where we're too old to do this or I've missed this opportunity. Just do something. Just start something.
Yeah. And one thing that I don't think enough people know, but this is so important and so empowering, I think, as well, is our bodies are designed to heal. Like literally everybody on the planet, your body is designed to heal. And so when you put the right inputs in and take the wrong inputs out, you can feel amazing pretty quickly. I mean, there's so many studies that show that just like a 10-day real food diet can shift all kinds of amazing things for you. So it doesn't even take a lot, but just start supporting your body appropriately. And stress management is part of that as well. Like there's so many different areas. But yeah, our bodies are designed to heal. So keep that in mind. There's always hope.
So stop the hate hustle with your body.
Yeah.
Be gentle and just do what you can when you can to do better.
Yeah. But with that, and this is kind of implied, but I do want to call it out, be intentional with the doing better. Don't throw in the towel. So, but yeah, be intentional. Pick some small way that you can improve. There's so much information out there to give you ideas of that. But be gentle. There's no need to hate yourself and to push yourself and think that that's going to motivate you. Be kind to yourself, meet your body where it's at, meet your schedule and calendar where it's at, and just do what you can. Well, we hope you found this helpful and hopefully it gave you some ideas. We'd actually love to hear from you, like on social media, or even email us and let us know what you think about this. And if you really enjoyed this, we would love for you to rate and review this podcast as well, because it will help other women in perimenopause and beyond find the podcast. So thank you so much for listening. We'll have a new episode for you in 2 weeks.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.